Introducing the Open Palm Podcast, hosted by Jerome Shaw. Available today on your favorite podcasting platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor.fm, and many more. The Open Palm Podcast, where the host engages his listeners with inspirational messages, motivating themes, and thought-provoking ideas. Topics include: make more mistakes, how much is your value, don't get right, get going, learning to let go, excellence is a habit, and more. Binge listen today. Subscribe today. It's getting excellent ratings. That's the Open Palm Podcast, hosted by Jerome Shaw. You can also find it on YouTube. Make sure you share it with your social networks and connect on Twitter and Instagram at Jerome Shaw. That's the Open Palm Podcast with Jerome Shaw. Available today on your favorite podcasting platforms. Go listen, download, and subscribe now.
My friend, have you heard the expression, do what you love? Just do what you love, and the money will come, right? Do what you love, and everything will be fine. Do what you love, and it won't even be work. Do what you love. You won't have to work a day in your life. Do what you love. Well, I want to challenge that theory. I heard a message by Dan Locke, and it really struck me. He said, don't do what you love. And I'll tell you why, my friend. Years ago, what I loved to do more than almost anything was play video games. Now, I could play video games all day long. In fact, there were some times and some days that I did. There were days when I was off from work, down days and weekends, that I played games from sunrise to sunset and watched the sunrise again, not fearing any consequences that were to come my way, oblivious to the world around me. It got to the point when I was so deep and so enveloped in that virtual reality, that virtual world, that I would literally walk outside and be disoriented, unable to right myself in my surroundings, unable to see the world around me in the natural light. Things that should have been natural looked pixelated and grainy, fuzzy for staring at a screen for so long. I wonder if you have had the same experience, my friend, where I would have virtual victory inside these virtual worlds. It's all started when I was young, playing an MMORPG, which is an acronym for a massively multiplayer online role-playing game, where I would be greeted by individuals who I never saw their actual faces, but I saw and interacted with their avatars, typing in a computer or playing on Xbox Live or online in different systems, playing with people and establishing relationships with people who I never even shook their hand, but traveling all around the game world. Now, sometimes they were fantastical lands and we would go on different journeys, but other times it was just competitive, whether it was a competitive arcade game or a fighter game or anything of those natures. But I was thoroughly invested in this world. In fact, if I was actually paid for the time that I put in to the video game world, I think I'd be a millionaire today. And that's putting it mildly. I spent that much time invested in these platforms, invested in things that didn't serve me, but only served my ego, only served a sense of fleeting accomplishment. For what I gained in the game world didn't really translate outwards. There's only a few things that I can say that I really got from playing video games as long and as much as I did, that actually did help me in real life. One of them is the very thing that I use for this podcast. An inner competitive nature with myself, to push boundaries, to push limits, to keep defeating that boss, to keep rising, to keep playing the next level and the next level. Just one more try. That is something that I got from video games. The one more mentality. One more. But you know what I lost? You might ask yourself, what cost? At what cost was doing the things that I love? They say, do what you love. If I did what I loved, I'd be in my boxers. I wouldn't go outside. I'd just be playing video games all day long, wasting away my time on things that didn't really move me forward or take care of myself or my family. I would neglect things as I have in the past, such as hygiene, such as food, such as sleep, even forgoing the restroom, just for pleasures, playing a game. But this is back when I just did what I loved. I just did what I loved all day. With the time that I had, I spent it up. That energy checkbook, all my energy went and was wasted, just enjoying myself over and over again, contributing nothing to society and nothing to the people around me, giving nothing of value that would rise my station or stature in life, but just accepting the low standard that I had accepted and established for myself over the years. It was a vicious cycle. But thankfully, I did not stay there, my friend. Do not throw a pity party for me. I did not stay there. I escaped the death trap of mediocrity. I found that it's not just about doing what you love, but loving what you do that can change everything. When you don't just do what you love, but you love what you do, you put that love into your business, into your work, into the things that you are learning and sharing with other people, into the contributions and the value that you are giving to all life on earth. Now, whatever form that this comes in, there's no judgment here. But as long as you are improving the life of another person, in my opinion, love what you do, my friend. Love what you do. If doing what you love is moving you forward, then who am I to tell you that you shouldn't? But in my case, I believe that I got much farther when I sacrificed doing what I loved, merely just hanging around, sitting around and doing what I loved all day, and I embraced loving what I do. I love what I do. This podcast, I love it. I love giving you information. I love sharing my life, sharing my experiences. I love having an impact on another person. I love that I can impart a wonderful message that can be just what somebody needed to hear at that point in time. I love that I am able to project and infuse my energy into a medium that penetrates the airwaves, that gets right to you, my friend, and affects you in a positive way so that you can do the same for someone else. I love what I do, and I couldn't see living life any other way, because now I find fulfillment in loving what I do and letting that love shine through to wonderful people like you. Whatever it is, my friend, if you have had an addiction or a confliction, whatever it is that has stopped you up in the past or has kept you in a stagnant cycle, break out of that, my friend. Break the pattern. Shatter it. Take a sledgehammer to the life that you once lived that was no longer serving you. Introduce a new one. For it is never too late to be who you might have been. It is never too late to live the life that you might have had, especially while there is still breath in your body. For as long as there is life, there is hope, my friend. There is hope for you and I. Thank you for listening, my friend. This has been Jerome Shaw on TOP, the Open Palm Podcast, here in San Antonio, Texas. The open palm means harmony with the world, understanding our place in the world, using our skills accordingly, greeting the world with an open palm instead of a closed fist. I pray that you did receive an encouraging message today that would let you know that no matter what it is that has held you back in the past, it does not have to hold you back any longer. You have the choice, my friend. Everything in life is a choice. We have the decision to decide. We have free will to determine which path we head down. Share this episode with a like-minded individual who is learning and growing, becoming their greatest version. Pay it forward today so more are able to hear these messages. If you like this, gain value, and resonated from the episode, I would invite you to become a supporter of the podcast by opening your browser to anchor.fm/jshaw and clicking that little support button there is much appreciated, where even $1 goes a long way to making a difference. And I do appreciate and want to give a shout out to all the supporters of the podcast. It is because of you that this show lives. It is because of you, my friends, that I still do what I do today. My friend, have a blessed day or night wherever you are. Take care. Hey there, my friend. So you've heard about Anchor, but do you know why it's the easiest way to make a podcast? Well, first off, it's free. It allows you to use creation tools that let you record your podcast right from your phone or computer. It also distributes your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more platforms. You can even make money from your podcast with minimum listenership. It's everything you need in one place. Download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. Can't wait to hear yours. Let's see what you have to offer the world.